My name is Mrs. Bina Efid Jennifer Sifeya. I'm a victim of the electoral violence that happened on the February 25th, 2023 presidential election, which happened in Lagos. Uh, I was so determined to cast my vote so that my vote will count, and I went through the registration, the the voters registration, and I got my voters card. So that fateful day, my polling unit is on my street, just few blocks away from my house. So when I heard that the INEC officials were around and voting had commenced, I had to go. I went there and joined the queue. I already saw some other people on the queue. So I joined the queue after verification, and after some time, because the queue was long and I couldn't stand for long, I had to sit. They were giving preference to the elderly and also nursing mothers, and so I had to sit down. While sitting down, I was sitting down on the bench with some other women. I wasn't having any discussion. I was just going through my phone. Someone beside me just gave me a quack, and for me to look up, I saw a group of strange looking fierce guys, like in a number of between 15 to 20. Everybody was just looking to see what their action would be, and they were just directly opposite the queue, and they were discussing amongst themselves. We were just watching, and after some time they started leaving, walking down the street, which has an exit route to out of it. So in my mind, they've gone. Everything was okay, still going on. So I was still seated there waiting for my turn. When after about 20 to 30 minutes, what I heard was a huge impact on my face. Bam! And simultaneously, I heard gunshots. So immediately, I felt I've been hit by a bullet. People were running helter skelter. I just put my hand there on my face, and the blood was already dripping down my elbow. So I stood up. People were running. I had to start going into the compound that was used for the polling unit. I was crying for help, and some people that were able to look back, they were so scared when they saw the sight, and people were locking their doors. I said, "I'm dying, help, help." I noticed it was somebody that held me from behind, and I recognized the voice. It's a woman I knew. So thankfully, she was holding an hanky. She just had to put pressure on the places the blood was gushing out. She said, "Let's wait, look for safety." So we're just trying to push doors that could open so that we're going inside first. We don't know where these guys were. I could not even see them. So when we just pushed the door of one house and went inside. In fact, it was a really scary sight. And she removed the hanky, and I could feel that it's a very huge, a deep cut, deep cuts. I was asking, is it bullet? They said they don't know. By then, the bleeding, in fact, it was bringing out the bloods were clotting, and it made me scared when I was asking. My husband was at home though that day, and he was asking me for response when we were still at the polling unit. So someone suggested they call him, but everybody know that the whole street was in disarray. It wouldn't be safe for him to come out. There was a nurse that stays in the compound next by, but how do I go out? Everybody was scared. As in, I should wait. They first took me somewhere else, no, but it wasn't safe. As in, we should just wait. To cut the whole long story short, after it was ascertained that it was safe, the guys had gone. I was taken out and to the nurse's place, the retired matron, and at that point she started giving me injections all over my face, at least to stop the bleeding. At that point, my husband came, and we were told to go to the general hospital. So it was really scary. We had to go, And when I got there, the emergency unit, they responded promptly, and those cuts, multiple lacerations, they were sutured. I needed to see an ophthalmologist, and that day I couldn't. There was no doctor, so I was told to come the following week because my eyes were covered. And on our way back from the hospital, we followed through the route where the polling unit is. Noticed that the INEC official had reconvened and few people were voting. I was At that point I had this rage in me, like after everything. I went to the police station and wrote a statement. So no arrest was made, and that is not my priority because you know how all these political things work. The deed is already done. What I'm after is my safety, the safety of my family, and peace of mind. Um, I need to really commend Nigerians, so many individuals when that thing happened. In fact, that from that very day, the calls, messages, support from individuals. I can't say enough thank you to them. Only God will bless them, and I so much appreciate it. Some members of some political parties also, they visited the PDP, the Labour Party, and also APC members. They all came to my house at different occasions just to to visit and hear about what happened. And after the elections, from groups, I wouldn't say much about groups, only for UN women that invited me for their program on post elections, violence against women during elections, and I really benefited from that meeting because I spoke about the incident and also met some people. And about post election um support, I would like to say this is very important, especially from the government. It's very, very important and key. Take for instance, like from me, after what happened, no statement has been issued by the government, or to say a visit from the government. Not a visit, but as in a measure has been put in place for this trauma, this because it was really traumatic. This thing this person went through. This is how we are going to go about it. This so that further in other times it wouldn't happen. Like for instance now, I'm not sure anybody that knows me very well will want to participate in any voting process when they remember, this is what happened to my sister Bina, this is what happened to my friend Bina, this is what happened to my colleague Bina during the election. It will cause them to have fear to go out next time during election to cast their vote, and by this it is dropping the number the number of women that will want to vote or participate in an election. You can imagine my children at such young age experience what they did. You wouldn't blame them if they wouldn't want to participate in anything election process, in a voting process, because they saw what happened, and nothing was done as a deterrent, like okay, this is what happened, but this is what the government did or put in place, so that next time people will not be scared, or anybody that wants to perpetrate violence will say, this was what was done during that woman's case or during that year. Because of that, we wouldn't go further, or we wouldn't execute such plan. So it's very important, even um, in ways of helping in the reducing the trauma, and otherwise the trauma I suffered after the election is what I don't wish for anybody, especially the first week and preceding week. I hardly sleep, nightmares and all that, headache. I had this. In fact, I don't. The sleep does not come. It was really traumatizing. What about the pains, the body pains, my eyes? I just thank God. God in His infinite mercy saw that you need these eyes, you for your work, to go about your motherly work, and also in the office you need these eyes. God saved me, and He used so many people, individuals. I must appreciate you people all. In fact, Nigerians, those in diaspora, those within, cuts across religions, and also tribe, because I got from. In fact, they gave me a name, made me a hero, that I'm a hero. I'm still amazed because up till now I've not heard anything like that from the government. And just say thank you to all of them, the individuals. You can imagine people visited individuals, and also some political parties representatives just came to see me to hear my side of the story. The PDP, Labour Party, and also the APC, they came. And I just want to say thank you. I would really want to recommend post-election support for women, especially from the government. I've commended individuals, but I've not gotten any statement or anything from the government. I would really want the government to be involved with what happens with women after elections, especially those that were victims of violence one way or the other. What happens to them? Their mental health. What happens to them psychologically? No follow up. Nobody cares to know what has this person been going through medically. Like I say, no. um, this woman, is she able to see with her eyes? That is for my own case. What about people that they lost their lives, and some even their properties, where the safety of the victim? Like I said, this thing happened right in my neighborhood. Nobody cares. She's still in that neighborhood. What is like, sometimes it just becomes so scary, because God, I keep praying, let nothing happen. No, what if one day, because the people that did this, they are people within. They are people within. Nobody cares. And what's the safety of this person? It's just ending after then, and it's not ought to be like that. So the government should please find measures, put in place policies that would take care of women after elections, post-election therapies and all that. Whatever that they need to assist, it's very necessary. Like, I'm sure with what happened to me, it will deter so many people, a lot of women, to go out to vote next time. Because for instance, you saw what happened to me as a close friend or a relative, a sister or a colleague. Next time when you're being told to go, you remember this is what happened to you now. I will not go. And what about, like, I have daughters, I have children. That day, I know how they felt, how they cried seeing their mother coming with blood, us all with blood stains all her clothes, eyes swollen, battered and all that. That sight was so scary, and I know it will affect them even psychologically when you talk about going out to cast their vote. So when policies are being put in place, measures are being taken to take care of women after post-election violence, it will serve as a deterrent to those that are perpetrating those those evil, and also give people hope, give women hope that the government was able to stand for this person, the government was able to do this and that. So I wouldn't be scared, I would go out to vote. It will encourage it will encourage women and also everyone to go out to vote when they see that the government is involved and seriously is taking serious measures about post-election violence. Thank you.
This Princess Abiodun Islamiat Uyefusi was the deputy governorship candidate for Labour Party. This just concluded 2023 election. Previously, I was the Lagos East senatorial candidate for PDP in Lagos in the 2019 election. With regard to women in contesting election and the support pre and post election for women, I believe this is the time that not only women's group, parties, the government in general must come together with a package to support women and encourage women to come into politics, into election, because we have very little support. The electoral process in Nigeria is very violent and very monetarized. So if you don't have the resources to compete in this election, you cannot succeed. The chances of just succeeding is very limited. And because of the violent natures of the electoral process as well, women have been discouraged from, it has discouraged a lot of women coming into the process. And if you look at the numbers from 1999, you see that the numbers just continuously decline. As 2003 in the last election, we had only 4 women in Senate out of 109 or 107. There was just 4 in this 2003 election. In the House of Assembly, I think there's about 40 something out of almost 300 and something. So in the assemblies, the local elections, Assembly of Lagos State, the women might not even up to 10, 40, and this is local election. And why? Because there's no support. There's very minimum support for women. Apart from the United Nations, what's it called, agreements, the treaty that was signed for 35% affirmation for women, that 35% of any position is reserved for women, which has not been domesticated into law in Nigeria. Only a few states have done it. So it has been constant struggle for women to find their place politically and to get the support that they need. Pre-election support, you have the forms you have to pay for, campaign money, you have to go out campaigning on the field, you are competing on the same grounds as the male dominated environment. The political climate is a male-dominated environment. You're going to the same boys' club to beg for money for your election. Apart from that, you also have is coupled with the violence nation or politics in Nigeria, especially this Lagos state. You have agberos, you have all the political talks, you have all sorts of things you have to contend with as a woman, and that discourages a lot of men allowing their women to come into politics. And because the way the political structure, the political process and the system have been set up as well, because you have meetings in very late into the night. You go campaign in rough areas. So all sorts of things, you need their determination to see the change that pushes you and keep going. But if we have the NGOs, the support we have pre-election from NGOs, they don't have money to give to these women to print things like posters, things like banners, campaign buses, t-shirts, all sorts of things there. Nobody is giving these women money. So they have to source those resources themselves to be able to get anywhere. And if there are NGOs that have been empowered by government or by international organization to fund these women, it increases our chances of winning. It increases our chances of more women coming because they know there are resources to back them up. So it's not their pre-election. most of the things that are there for women are given by parties, like exemption from nomination form fees, and you only pay for the other forms fees, which is not very much. That's the only thing that is available for women pre-election. Every other thing you're going into this election, we sort of, not only do we suffer harassment, there's also the mental health part of it, because you also suffer abuse. You suffer the struggle can sort of sink you into depression, if because you are constantly fighting the system. You are constantly fighting the male dominated harassment. You're fighting harassment. Take, for example, when I was campaigning on social media, somebody just came up with a picture of somebody that is not me and smoking Indian hemp or whatever they're smoking and projected it as me. And I had to deal with that on social media. And the comments that were coming, I had to publicly go on social media, go on radio, that it was not me, that I've never smoked in my life, and this and that. So that, you have that also, you have to contend with. Then you have to contend with attacks from where you go, from when you go to campaign. That's because you don't have this sort of support. That sort of depresses you even more. If you're not mentally strong, you can break down. You can break down because you're working all hours. Not only are you also working all hours, you're also worried about money. I'm going to get money to do this campaign. I'm going to get money to provide these services. I'm going to get money to print these posters, to bring these t-shirts. To go into campaign. You have to go out, you are fundraising yourself, you are campaigning. So altogether, it has a lot on your physical being. Yeah, it takes a lot from you. It takes a lot mentally from you as well, especially when there's no support network. And for me, like in this 2023 election, if I tell you the millions of money that I spent in campaigning, we throw into this campaign, despite the fact that I was only a deputy, well over 100 million that was thrown into campaign. Because when you go to campaign, it's not cheap. We had to go to 20 local government, and each local government you're spending an average of about 10 million or 5 million, or depending. The smallest one you're spending less, and you still have that party internal thing that you have to deal with. Before you got to your primary, you won your primary. It's all money. It's all monetized. It's all negotiation. It's all meetings. So it's not. That's why I said Nigeria election is very monetized election, and it takes a lot of emotion out of you. It takes a lot of mental health out of you. So women going through all of that without having support can take a lot from, if you're not strong mentally, it can actually drag you down. And then the election is over, and you did not win, and still no support. Where do you go to? There's no like a group where you can go to talk about what you experienced, how you dealt with it, what is the next step, how we can support each other, and what we need to come together to form I want to use the right word, to form a group where we can share experience, discuss how it impacts us, how we go forward from here. You see, it's not there. Even the people that won, they're not coming back to the people that didn't win and say, okay, now I'm the senator of this area. I'm the only woman here. How can I pull off my fellow woman? How can I help you, support you? How can you recuperate what you have spent in there? I know a lot of people that contested even for assembly. They lost a lot of money. And they're like stranded, they don't know how to pick themselves up. And where did they start from? Where did they turn to? Do they have any job? The comments you got, oh, the money you can't afford to throw away, don't bring it into politics. You pick yourself up, you start again. That is the way Nigerian politics is. And for women, we're not built that way. We're very emotional, and we sort of we analyze a lot, and you don't want to get people that come into election politics have drowned themselves in regrets. Why did I do this? Where is this? What will I do? What will I have done with this? What will I do? No, so that sort of thing. I don't want to call it counseling, but just coming together, sharing experience, talking about coming to an environment that, oh, there's this NGO I can just go talk to when I'm feeling, what have I done? And where do I start? The key thing for a lot of people is where do I start? I know a lot of women that have contested, and from there you can see they've gone back to work. They work in an office. They've gone back to small petty trading. They've gone back because no one encourages them and pick them up to the next level. It takes people that are determined that will say, okay, I failed this time around, I'll soon find a way where I will succeed. I'm going to keep at it. Most people don't keep at it, they just drop off. Because the lost for them is more than what they've gone. What they've gained, sorry. I've had people say to me, oh, Nigerian politics, bad business. So we need support. There's a need for, I don't know where it's going to come from. If it's a specialist NGO, if it's the UN, they have to have this program for after election for women to go around to speak in each local government, to run that program in each local government, and let these women come and share their experience, come and talk about what they are and what they want to do, and how they're going to pick it up, and what support they can get. And then they must also bring people women that have succeeded in this program to come and encourage these women. Encourage them to tell them that it is not the end, this is the success. I'm here to support you. I'm here to support you. I might be a senator here. You have won this election, but whatever you need, I'm here to support as much as I can. Set up a program, set up a network that you come and speak to these women, not to discourage them, not for them not to fall by the wayside and pick them. That support is absolutely necessary.
Thank you.